Hey there, I'm Michelle. We've been living aboard a 40-foot powerboat and getting it ready to cruise back to Alaska this spring. We've been here in Semiahmoo for about a month now and just about to go exploring the San Juans. Sure how long our supplies will last us before we need to come back to harbor. We filed a float plan, but we may need to change it. Our drinking water should be fine since some of the islands have a drinking water source. We're just not so sure how long our freshwater tank will last. Our water reservoir holds 440 gallons on the boat. Maybe it'll last us 2 weeks for bathing and dishes if we're conservative with it, but I really don't know. I feel that we have enough food because I can cook from scratch and we made sure to stock up on it. We have flour, sugar, rice, almond milk for storage. And since I'm cooking from scratch, it takes a lot less space as if we have boxes of store-bought goods. And less trash to get rid of. We have a couple of gas cans to fuel up the dinghy and the generator for when we need to charge the boat batteries. We're also not so sure how often we'll need to charge. We have a normal home-sized fridge, so we're not so sure how hard they'll be on the batteries. And if you cook multiple meals at one time, you save on propane, and so then you don't have to refresh on that. But for now, we've planned a shorter trip over to the San Juan Islands. Our first stop out was over at Semiahmoo Island. We tried anchoring over at Shallow Bay. It took us about an hour and a half to complete because it was hard to set the anchor. There's a lot of thick plant growth and it's super slippery. So the anchor didn't want to hold the first few times that we had set it. But we managed to set it and it held all night.
No gravity that sucked me in your orbit. There's no magnet that was in your heart. The one restriction was the friction that was keeping us a little too far apart. Well, why fight it? I was secretly delighted. I gave chase and then I let you win. You felt lovely when you loved me like a fool, but now I can't let go of your skin. You know that I never knew that you are crazy glue, darling, and I'm stuck to you, but I'm cozy and I don't wanna wiggle loose. Your honey like a finger in the beehive. The bees are buzzing in a tizzy fit, and they're stinging, but I'm singing like a fool, 'cause you're as sweet as a banana split. You're sticky like a hippie in the summer. You're like syrup in a slushy tray. And one touch of you and I will never leave, 'cause I believe I can't get away. You know that I never knew that you are crazy glue, darling. And I'm stuck to you, but I'm cozy and I don't wanna wiggle loose. I don't wanna wiggle loose. Hold on to me, and hand we'll follow. Hold on to me, as if you had a choice. I never knew that you are crazy glue, my darling. And I'm stuck to you, but I'm cool.
Sounds so funny.
I don't wanna wiggle loose. I don't wanna wiggle loose.
This is China rock. It's a great example for sandstone sculptures. Sandstone is very soft, so it's easily manipulated by the wind and the weather. It was like this all night long. Found our way out of the woods, and it's probably going to go to the beach across from where our boat is. We realized why our boat rocked so much that first night. It wasn't very protected. But needless to say, we were exhausted, but we still managed to explore the island and enjoy ourselves that day. But we did decide to move the boat to the middle of the harbor where it would be more protected the way the island is made. We thought that we anchored well that night, but we didn't. We got awoken the next morning by some kayakers, and we realized we were in very shallow water, which is pretty bad on our boat. And so we figured out a way to push it into the middle, but we weren't being very successful at it. We overtook this little tiny boat and the motor wasn't running. Well, the boat's rope got tangled around the propeller, but my husband got in the water and got it out. And then some guys from other boats came around with their dinghies and hooked it up to the front of our boat and then pulled us out into the middle. There we hooked anchor and then ate breakfast and then decided let's move to Echo Bay where they have a sandy bottom where it's much easier to anchor at. And so that's what we did. Has been cut short, but we were out there long enough to learn a lot about hiccups. We can manage 2 weeks just fine with 440 gallons of water, and we were good on our drinking water. We have plenty of food left, but we ran out of gas to charge the generator or to run the dinghy. With having a house fridge aboard, it drained the batteries and made it where we had to charge every single day. We'll definitely need to replace the fridge with one that runs on DC.